Alrighty guys, what is going on? Financial Dan here, bringing you a overview on NFTs. I've just been excited about these and I knew I had to cover them, and so we're going to get right into it. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what they are, but just a bit because there's so much info out there. Just Google it if you want to know what an NFT is in more depth than what I cover. Then I'm going to jump into kind of what some of the use cases are. What kind of industries, where are they going to be used? How could they be so big for the future? And then, we'll rewind a little bit though, and we'll take a look at history, where they kind of started, and some of the big ones back in 2014 even. And finally, we're going to talk a little bit about the different kind of blockchains and platforms they're offered on and the strategies that some people have been using to just make insane returns. Insane risk goes along with it. But we're going to get right through all that. Stick along. Let's check it out, eh? Alrighty, we're going to kick things off on the old school educational site Wikipedia, because you know what? They got some good stuff sometimes, and I like their definition here on the NFT. It is a unit of data stored on a digital ledger called a blockchain that certifies a digital asset to be unique and therefore not interchangeable. Not fungible, not interchangeable. NFTs can be used to represent items such as photos, videos, audio, and other types of digital files. Access to any copy of the original file, however, is not restricted to the buyer of the NFT. What they're going on here to mention is how there's a difference between ownership of an NFT and an actual copyright from the artist. So you can have proof of ownership of that picture, of that piece of artwork, but the artist still owns the copyright to it, which I think is an interesting point that not many people point out. And just so you know the growth of it too, they threw this in here. The NFT market value tripled in 2020, reaching more than 250 million in the year of 2020. The first quarter of 2021 sales have exceeded $2 billion. All right, so what's the point? What's some of the bigger use cases for this? So I'm gonna fly through these a little quicker. The first one straight up, when you think about something non-interchangeable, you think of kind of, unique artwork, and digital art is totally one of the big use cases of an NFT. There's plenty of, famous artists that have sold some of these paintings and digital artworks for so much. Mike Winkelmann, known as Beeple, sold for $69.3 million this year. Just crazy. And collectibles, NBA Top Shots, Mark Cuban's all over this. You can even do tickets as an NFT. You own the ticket, you own the NFT as a ticket. You can get access to an event. Games, I'm going to come back to this one because I think it's the biggest. Virtual worlds. So a lot of these give you access into like communities. If you own the NFT, you get access into a certain club, kind of prestigious, Well, I own this NFT, so I can get into this club, or I can get into this auction to buy something else. Music, film, memes, sports, fashion, even Nike has put crypto graphics into something they call crypto kicks for blockchain technology to attach crypto graphics to digital assets on physical products like sneakers. Pretty cool. I'm not going to talk about that one. Games, just the future on these is could be huge. I just can't see a better application than like games with characters being tied as an NFT, so that you own your character, you own your player, you own whatever in that game, or even the assets in the game, like the plots of land, digital land. You own it, and you can sell it on a marketplace outside the game, and then other people can buy it and bring it into the game. And there's just a lot going on with gaming NFTs. Games like Axie Infinity, where you have to buy 3 of these animals to enter into the game, but then you can also breed them, or you can lend them out to people in the Philippines who will play the game for you and make money for you. Just crazy stuff like that that's going on. Zed Run, horses that you can breed. Let's rewind back in time and see, what were some of the first ones? How did we get here? So there's a great article here on the history of NFTs and how they got started. I'll link it in the description below if you want to read the whole thing. I'm just going to breeze through just a bit of it. So right here, what you're looking at right now is the first NFT, and it's now worth about $7 million. Pretty impressive. It's called Quantum. We go way back in 2012, 2013, where some of the concept colored coins tying, real world assets onto Bitcoin blockchain was when it was just started as a discussion. Like I said, first one was 2014. Then the most popular one that a lot of people know about was 2017, right here on the Ethereum blockchain with the CryptoPunks. 10,000 unique CryptoPunks. No two characters are the same. All of them have different characteristics and traits with different rarities, and that kind of makes up the full rarity of what each CryptoPunk is. We'll take a look at CryptoPunks again when we dive into the marketplaces. So there's a little bit, just a brief history, but now I just kind of want to touch on minting. What is minting? So you think when you mint a coin, that's when it comes into the world, it goes to the press or whatever, and the coin pops out and it's being minted. It's the same type of thing. The process of minting is taking something from being just a piece of artwork or being just the image or video or whatever, and recording it onto the blockchain and minting it, stamping it with that ID, I guess you could say, and releasing it out to the public, to people. And you can set things when you release this, when you mint your NFT. If you wanted to, you could say, I only want 10 copies of the same image to be released. And then 10 copies would be released. Or you could say, I want 1,000 copies. And then you can set, how many different ones there are, like the CryptoPunks. Each one's different. There's a lot of different ways they can kind of be released or minted, but that's the process of minting. So you're going to remember that, because I'm going to bring it up again here pretty quick. So the different blockchains, Ethereum, 2017, you see these CryptoPunks are some of the first ones on Ethereum. Now, recently we've got Cardano offering smart contracts and offering NFT platforms. We've got Solana offering platforms for NFTs, and we even have Binance Smart Chain. So there's been some kind of smaller competitors creeping into the space, and I definitely have some pretty bullish outlooks on some of them for sure. So let's just take a look through each of those ones. Mainly I'm going to talk about Ethereum, then Solana, and then Cardano, and some of the websites associated, and then the strategy for flipping an NFT for massive profit. I do have to point out, though, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research on this type of stuff, and just be careful out there. Don't go stupid spending money on something that's going to go to worthlessness in no time. Just a warning. First, let's start with Opensea.io. This is the marketplace, one of the biggest marketplaces for NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, there are other websites and marketplaces, but Opensea is kind of known to be the biggest one. So you can search here by items, by price, and you can see here these are NFTs right here, and you can see this one's going for 0.06 ETH. The purple diamond is just showing, when you bid, it's on Polygon, ETH on Polygon, and it's called wrapped ETH when it's purple, WETH. It's the same price as ETH. So here I've searched for CryptoPunks on OpenSea, and just so you can kind of see from the price low to high, the floor is what they call that, the kind of cheapest price you could pick up an NFT at. There's a term you can remember when they talk about the floor price. It's the cheapest price you can pick it up. pretty intuitive. So right now it's about 32 Ethereum for CryptoPunks, and a lot of these are bids too, so they might go up a little bit, but that's about $105,000 for the cheapest one. So we can also go here on Opensea the stats, and you can kind of see the top collections, art blocks curated. Those are straight artwork style, NFTs, CryptoPunks, Sneaky Vampire Syndicate. I heard about that one recently. Bored Ape Yacht Club. Man, this one makes me upset when you talk about minting. So let's talk about minting right now. Minting, when a project is being released, it's not on OpenSea yet. They need to mint it first. They need to release some to the public. Sometimes they do a pre-sale to a certain amount of people, private people, whatever, and then they'll do a public minting. And it will be on their Twitter, and they have a Discord, and they have a website. We'll be looking at this here shortly. And when they mint, they typically mint at quite a low price. So Bored Apes were minting for 0.08 ETH at the time. And I heard about them about to be minted. I was watching another crypto guy on them and was kind of like, well, I'll see where it goes, whatever, right? Now the floor price on a Bored Ape is about 35 Ethereum. So if you're looking at that, I could have turned 0.08 ETH into 35 Ethereum. Man, that's some big gains. I mean, basically 0.08 ETH would have been about $250, and 35 ETH is over $115,000. So, man, could you imagine just minting one of those for $250 and then having one worth over 100,000? And it makes me cringe just thinking about how I could have done it. But that's the game, that's the mistake. That's the learning process. And you realize, well, that is a project that, did have some really good utility. And I should have listened to some of the people who were recommending it. But at the same time, you can't really say that, because there's another 100 projects out there that were the opposite, that absolutely tanked. Because people can rug pull you with these. This is where I'm letting you know a little bit of a warning. Anybody can mint an NFT, promise you the world of a project of some sort, get a bunch of followers for the most part on Twitter, and then release it and raise $1 million from everyone buying it, and then not follow through with any of the promises, and there's no regulation, there's nothing holding them up against it. That's risky.